co-parenting. And so we're going to title this co-parenting with Demonte and Raven. Because we couldn't just have one part. We couldn't have just one perspective. We had to have the ladies. Yeah. Who run the world? Girls.
I'm here for the fathers right here. Hold it
down. All right. So I wanted to be surrounded by the girls. So I got my sister on here. Jay, can you say hey to the people?
Hey, people.
All right. And we got the one and only Raven. That's so Raven.
What about me?
Oh, and Demonte's here too.
They forget about the fathers, fellas. I'm here for us though.
All right. So the last time we talked about co-parenting, and as a reminder, introduce yourself, Demonte.
My name is Demonte. Have one son. No, Isaiah. Yeah, my name is Demonte though.
All right, Raven.
Hey y'all, I'm Raven. I have 4 kids, but Isaiah is my oldest, and this is his crazy daddy.
All right. So we're just gonna get into the questions. How is Raven co-parenting with Demonte?
How am I co-parenting with him?
How is it with me? Like the experience? Tell.
It's good right now. I mean, at first it was rough, the first year. I know, like you said in the first one, part 1, there was feelings involved or whatever. But that was young old me. But everything's good now though.
So you saying it was you or Demonte? Who wasn't co-parenting?
I guess me.
Hey, I see I'm sitting right here, right?
So Raven, wait, I know Raven got her drink too, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Now, I don't drink, but I got my Fresca here. What you got, Jessica?
Oh, I have my Chick-fil-A.
Hey,
Chick-fil-A. All right. So let's go back because I'm going to be asking Raven a lot of questions. And so, all right, because you're coming from the ladies' perspective. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of my clients that are ladies, they don't want these men to be a part of the children's lives. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But tell me, let's start with the worst. What was going on in the first place?
Like in the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we lived in different states. So it was hard because I was still, in high school. And I just felt like I was doing everything by myself. And then Demonte was gone. So it was a lot of animosity and a lot of grudges and stuff like that. So I had a lot of anger. But then shout out to Miss Sue. She's one of my neighbors that lived across the street from my mom. And she was like, girl, come over and talk to me. And I sat there and talked to her for hours. And she just basically told me, let everything go and let Isaiah be with his dad and everything. And she was like, everything's going to go be peachy smooth.
All right. Was she right?
Shout out to Miss Sue. Made it easy for you.
Demonte said, shout out to Miss Sue.
Yeah.
You need to be taking her out to eat tomorrow. Well, when the quarantine is over. All right. So, Raven, I want you to tell me what is the bad about co-parenting with Demonte?
Be real. Go ahead, be real.
Bad. I guess he's not as strict on Isaiah like I am. I'm the strict one. So when I come to him, he real easy on Isaiah sometimes. But other than that, we really don't have no issues.
Nana, do you believe I'm real easy?
Yeah.
Yes.
You already know it.
Yes. That's why we see smiling.
Oh, no. Hey.
So let me ask you a question.
Hey, that's my only child right there. But, hey, I'm just saying, my father wasn't there from day one. So, I don't know. I had to get it. I'm adjusting to it. Even though he's 12 years old, I'm still adjusting to it, though.
Let me tell you this. We went on a cruise. Y'all remember we went to the Bahamas.
Isaiah was crying.
Yeah.
And Isaiah, he was like with dad, he was just doing whatever.
What?
Like he was crying one night and Raven said, get your tail in that bed. And he was crying in the bed, but he got in that bed. Like I can tell that he's different with mom than with dad because you're right, Raven. I can tell that you're the strict one and you're going to stay on top of him. But then Demonte, you have to understand when you have, like, when she has him, like, most of the time, she has to be that kind of person. Because I get that y'all are co-parenting, but what you don't understand is sometimes, as whether it's the mother that has custody or the dad that has custody, whoever has custody, they are bearing so much more than you are. And so that's why even with the dads, like, I know, like, we appreciate what y'all dads do, but like sometimes y'all got to step up a little bit more. And for me, I didn't grow up with my dad. So you as my son, you ain't about to be no deadbeat. You're about to do what you're supposed to do as a dad. And I, and not that you didn't want to, but it's like, because I've been in Raven's shoes, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna push you, you know? Right. All right. What are your feelings on that, Jessica?
Exactly what you said. The both of us, we didn't have the dads in our lives to kind of be there and be the dad to guide us for anything. So, the fact that you are there is a great thing. But you also got to understand that with, like your mom said, him being with Raven most of the time, she is the disciplinarian. So one of the things I would think is that you need to get with her so that y'all are on the same page about things. And it's not him being at mom's house and she telling them, no, you can't. And then he gets over dad's house and, we all know Isaiah love those video games. And it's like, Dad, can I play the game? Come on, boy. We go, let's jump on it together. And he's probably in trouble with mama where he don't need to be on a single video game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So how is it? So we talked about the bad, and Demonte, I'm gonna pose the same question to you. What is the bad, or what has been the bad about co-parenting with Raven? Yep, I'm putting you on the spot.
Come on, now, I mean, I can't really think that. Like I said, I don't knock her as a mother, nothing like that. You're right. She is more strict than I am, but I can't really think of anything right now.
All right, and let me just say for the audience that don't know, if you haven't seen Isaiah, you looking at him right now.
Everybody be thinking that's about. They be saying that's your little brother right there. Yeah. Like, nah, I be feeling young when I be going to the school sometimes.
Look, just like.
So, and then all of I had the opportunity to raise this young man. So, like, when I see some of the stuff that he complains about in Isaiah, and he's fussing at Isaiah about, I'm like, that's exactly what you did, though. Mm-hmm. Like, Isaiah has this way where if I'm asking him something, if he's in trouble, he just looks.
Yeah.
He be like, answer me. And he just look. He be like, do you hear me talking to you? And
that's exactly what he do.
That's Demonte. Demonte used to do that. All right, so I said in the last video, I like the way you guys co-parent. And so let's talk about what are what's the key to good co-parenting?
Communication.
Yeah.
You said that last time, but let Raven answer.
Communication, but respect. That's another one. You got to respect each other because, I mean, you can communicate all day, but if you don't respect each other, you can still have issues. And then just maturity as well. That's another one.
Right.
I think those are the main ones for me that I can think of. All
right. Now, this question we posed to you last time, Demonte, and I'll let you answer it again. But how is it? Because a lot of times when I have men come into the office and the lady has stopped allowing them to see the child, half the time is because, even though the ladies don't say it, because they've moved on to a different relationship. And sometimes it's not that the person still wants to be in a relationship with them. Sometimes it's that I don't know her. I don't know him. So how do you guys feel? And to me, it's not necessary. It would be a respect thing. But how do y'all feel about when you go to the next relationship about introducing? Like, do you think it's a good idea to introduce like your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your husband, your wife to the mother or the father?
Yes, but I wouldn't do it like right in the beginning because you don't know if you're gonna be with this person for a long time or not. But I know like in the past, with my last relationship, I told him straight up, he obviously knew I had other kids. And I just told him up front, look, I have this relationship with Demonte, and you're not gonna come in between that because men come and go. And you're not gonna come and mess up my relationship with I have with him just because you feel some type of way or you insecure or you don't like how me and him joke around and co-parent, so that's just something, keeping it real, you're not going to come mess up what I already have.
Okay. Demonte?
Yeah, basically everything. Yeah.
She took it right out your mouth.
Demonte's told me before, he's like, man, girls in the past, they broke up with me because they was jealous of you or just the relationship that we have. And I'm like, I mean, obviously they were insecure. If they didn't know that me and him was already on good terms and having good, communication.
Yeah.
That's their fault.
Yeah, and I agree because you have to be secure. And when you're dealing with a relationship with somebody who has children, you're gonna have to be able to deal with the other person because really a good co-parenting relationship, like when I come to Houston, I'm like, what we doing? We all going to eat? What we gonna do? So you have to be like that, like even in the relationship, the girlfriend or the boyfriend or the new husband, new wife, they need to be able to fit in. So Jessica, I know my sister is married. My sister has 4 children. And so Jessica, as far as what you can give as a perspective, and I know you don't deal with this particular situation, but what do you think somebody can do to make the other person feel comfortable? Because when you're coming into a new situation, it is like if you see Demonte and Raven, you do see them joking around and laughing, and it's like friends do. So what's the advice?
I think Raven's taking the right steps to that. If you let them know up front, what the relationship is, what's going on, they have to understand, yes, I have a child with this person. So there is some point of civility that needs to go on in order for us to come together and raise this child. Just because this new person is coming in, that's not you trying to push your child off on them saying, okay, now I need you to help me raise this kid. He has a dad. So as long as, like I said, she did the right thing. As long as you're coming up front with these people, like she said, if they can't deal with it, that's just their insecurity. And that just means they're not the right person to kind of join into this blended family.
Okay. All right.
We very, like our family is very oriented, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. All right.
We like to drink, have a good time, go bowling.
Exactly.
So that's just us.
Yeah.
If somebody coming in that can't understand that, then that just means they don't need to be a part of it because you don't need drama coming in.
Yeah.
And then somebody says something that makes one person mad and then it's an issue between them two. Mm-hmm. They still have to raise this child together. They're still going to have to see each other.
Yeah.
So
all right.
They're doing good.
So, Demonte, what happens when you and Raven don't agree on something? Let's say you want to put Isaiah in basketball. Let's say Raven says, no. Like, how do y'all discuss that?
I mean, I feel like, bringing out the pros and the cons, but I mean, first I'm going to have to think because it's going to have to go around her schedule as well as my schedule. So, like, for instance, like, what if it's on a Thursday, I have to go to practice, but I have to work, but I want to sign him into it. Then she has to go out of her way to go to find a way for him to get there, and I already have him signed up. It's all about, like, I guess you can say about communication, but we haven't really, like, met that. It's like, if we want to get them in an extracurricular activity, we go ahead, want them to be active, and also stay off their game. So
we just communicate check each other's schedules to make sure, okay, somebody is able to take Isaiah, and if not, then we just wait until something else come up.
Yeah, and I might not be able to do it Monday. She might be able to take it Monday, and I might be able to take them Thursday. It's all about communicating.
All right, I'm about to put you in the hot seat.
Right.
Child support. When people deal with child support, because I always hear men say, "Well, I give money to the mama," and it's like, okay, well, if you're already doing that, child support is child support. Pay your child support. So, if somebody is not paying child support, and from the perspective of the mom, Raven, how important is child support? And what would you say to the men that say women don't need child support?
Oh man, I hate when people say that. I mean, it's very important just because, like you said earlier, the mom does pretty much a lot of the things that the child needs.
Primary household.
Right. You know, the custodial parent, obviously. And, you know, we keep a roof over their heads and clothes and school supplies, and they need gym clothes and shoes. You know, it's a lot that we do out of our own pocket. So I feel like if, you know, I asked Demonte, hey, you know, can I have $100 for Isaiah? And, you know, some men will be like, well, what do you need $100 for? You want to get your nails done or whatever? No, it's not, you know, your son needs stuff. You know what I'm saying? We are already paying for light bills and cable bills and, you know, everything they use every day. So I feel like when men's like, oh, that's just another check. No, it actually goes to your child.
Right. Whether it's earmarked, whether like even if you get the money and you go and get your nails done, it's like, first of all, like you said, I'll put a roof over your child's head.
Right.
I'm paying for gas to take your child back and forth. I'm feeding your child. I'm doing all of this. So yeah, I completely understand that. Demonte, you got some thoughts?
I mean, she pretty much right. Like I remember,
we want the real. No, we want the real.
Hey man, I ain't trying to go broke. I ain't trying to go broke. Child support, blah. No, but no.
Give me all your money. No, I'm just playing.
It's just like that. Hey.
All right.
I'm getting money out of this right now. They probably about to send a letter out right now. You know.
You better be paying child support.
Nah, for real though. I feel it though. You know, child support is a necessity. I feel like because I ain't gonna lie, when I was younger, I was like, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna say the amount, but the amount that was younger, anybody would have been like, oh, this
was a lot.
Yeah. But you brought it to me there, and then also like me not having a father, like a biological father, and you doing it on your own without child support, it made me realize like, man, like at first I was like, I'm complaining about this, but you're right. Like the child staying at the mom's house and she's doing all this. And I mean, of course I get them on weekends and my visitation, you know, all that stuff. And she allows me to get them more than that. I'm just saying in general. But that's not enough to take care of a child. I know some people that's probably paying like $140. That not enough to take care of that child. She's
what
right.
What $140 gonna do?
Right. You know, Isaiah wear almost a size 10 in men. So right off the bat, that's $200 right there.
I mean, he spent about $500 on Fortnite. Because if I get one more text message saying, Nana, can I get this new skin for Fortnite? Can I get these V-Bucks? I be like, your mom and daddy said you could.
Nope. And
then the next thing I know, be like $9.99. Again, these kids out here committing credit card fraud. All right, so we got a question from Bam Brandon Williams, and they want to know, what is your custody situation? So I'm assuming they're wanting to know who's the primary custodial, and what kind of parenting time do y'all have?
So she's the primary. I mean, I get him on the first, third, and the fifth, but he stays right down the street from me. So she allows me, if I just communicate with her, like, hey, I'm trying to get Isaiah, like, even last week, I brought him some ice cream and a sweet tea, and, brought some for his siblings, just to surprise him. If I communicate that, like, before, then it's pretty much, like, she allowed me to go and do it. As long as I get him back by bedtime, or if she lets me keep him over the night, make sure I get him to school, like, on time. And make sure I feed him.
On time.
Make sure he's fed. But I mean, like I said, every first, third, and fifth, Thursdays,
and then we switch holidays.
Like
every year.
Yeah. So, and even sometimes she still allows me, like, oh, I might get him for Thanksgiving. she gets them for Christmas, she might still allow me to go ahead and get them like the day after Christmas or a few days after. I mean,
some parts of it.
Maybe, you know.
I think the only thing I'm really strict on is holidays because, you know, just with my other children, you know, they go with their dad, you know, just the same every other year. So if he does, you know, call and ask, hey, can I get Isaiah? And I'll tell him, you know, I want him to spend time with his siblings first. And then, you know, after that, it's all cool with me.
Yeah, yeah. And just to answer your question, Bam Brandon Williams, they have like a standard visitation, like first, third, and fifth.
It's not 140. It's not, ours is not 140.
That was an example.
But just the
hey, you know anything, you let me know though. hey, I still get the back on top of that.
But they do like a first, third, and fifth weekend. Then they actually rotate the holidays, and then they like split the summer weeks. And honestly, like Raven normally, like she, you know, even her weeks in the summer, Demonte will get them, and I'm saying Demonte, but really Nana.
Yeah, Nana.
Really, Nana. If you've ever been to the office in the summer, you've seen Isaiah.
You playing Fortnite in the background.
Playing Fortnite here at the office. All right.
Situation, mamas get a vacation.
That's what I'm saying.
Let them go.
See, y'all be trying to hold the kids.
It's a win-win situation. You can't go wrong.
That's what I don't get.
Why not? You know what I mean? Like, let them go to the father. As long as the father's gonna feed them, clothe them, wash them, and everything.
I know we need that vacation. Go out clubbing. You know, have a good time.
Get my I ain't gonna say my boyfriend because I'm still skeptical about that. But I'm just saying, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't be getting that. But like, why you want to keep the children 100% of the time? Don't you want to break?
When can you come? When can you get here?
Yeah, like I said.
Let me tell you, Demonte, like in the summertime, from the time school got out on that Friday at 6 p.m. I was on that road taking him to his grandma's house, my mama house, and then the day before school is when I got him back. We get back at 8 p.m. and he going to school the next day.
I'm going across the street with friends, hanging out, you know.
I'm like,
Bible school, all that, you know.
Because I got him the whole year, so I don't mind. Oh, you want the summer? You know, so I wish he had a dad that was doing all of that. That was like, hey, send him to me for the summer.
Right.
Yeah.
He went to grandma because I needed a break. All right, but no, Bam Brandon Williams. It is not 140. We ain't gonna say what it used to be, but it's not 140. All right. So,
I was working at KB Toys.
All right. So, all right, these kids are out for this quarantine. Oh my God. I don't feel sorry for the parents that's got to homeschool. Jessica, what's going on with you in this homeschooling?
It ain't nothing nice. You know, we thank the Lord that they've cut back on assignments, but the ones that they have, these kids are staying up from the time they get up to the time it's almost close to bedtime doing work still.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
The good news is the last week or so, they kind of been having a good Friday where it's not been so much on Fridays.
Right.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I've been getting a lot of emails. I feel like I'm still in college the way I'm getting emails back to back from every.
I know. It feels like it's my professor saying, hey, you got an assignment.
That's crazy. So what is Isaiah doing? Is he doing like digital studies?
Oh yeah. You know, and he in 6th grade, first of all. So they have like 7 class periods. And, you know, he do his math, science, social studies, reading, his art class. So everything he got to send in on a computer or, you know, I got to email his teacher.
Yeah.
But literally 8 o'clock in the morning, he up, you know, I tell him, brush your teeth. This ain't, you know, I don't play. It's clean your room up, take a shower, get you some breakfast, and then sit at that table, and you're going to do your work.
That's right, Raven.
That's right.
It's like you still going to school. You
They,
get up, you start your lesson, and go.
They still get report cards. You know, the teacher's already saying
wow.
grade. So
hey, I'm glad they are. When it first started, you know, had a spring break. We supposed to go somewhere, but I was like, we can't go because of the whole situation. Then, like, I'm like, a second week of spring break. I'm like, man. Then they kept saying this right here, but yeah, I'm glad. Salute to all the teachers still out there. Helping the kids out and holding it down, man. For real. Very.
All right. So what's the key to staying friends? And I know y'all already said communication. I know y'all already said respect. And that's not everybody's situation because y'all's situation is rare. It is rare. Believe me on that, okay? So what other tips? What other keys?
I mean,
like I said, maturity. I mean, if he was with somebody and let's just say I was jealous or whatever, that would cause issues. So you would have to grow up and, if he's not interested in you or, she not interested in you, y'all got to let that go.
Move on.
Because it's not y'all that's suffering, it's the child that's suffering. Right. That's what I had to learn. I mean, like Demonte said in part 1, we were minors. I was 17 when I had Isaiah. So, just me holding all that grudge, animosity and all that it had issues. Like Demonte said, it wasn't good in the beginning because he knew, y'all know I got an attitude. And if I don't like you, I don't like you. So, and it was just bad because he probably felt like he couldn't call me or talk to Isaiah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
So
yeah, but it got better.
It got better. After let all that stuff go.
God changed him.
He laid his precious hands on me.
Got that holy oil. Nowadays, you had a holy oil with the gloves on, so the pastor don't touch you with the corona, but. Yeah, but like I said, they got very flexible. Like even then, when I would come down here, fly down here, she would pick me up from the airport, and I'd be like, "Here goes some gas money," and she didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate that she picked me up from the airport, Greyhound station, then drop me off, or come, drop Isaiah off, or pick Isaiah up. And I know going out of her way, I appreciate that though. That's making it easier on me. About communication and maturity though.
So how different has it been having, because I know Demonte was living out of state, but now he's there, like you said, a few minutes up the street from Isaiah. Yeah. How different, Raven, has it been with him being there? And then what's the difference that you see in Isaiah?
It's a big difference. He's obviously here closer. So let's say I'm at work and I'm working late hours and I can call him, hey, can you go get Isaiah? Versus him being in a different state and there's nothing he can really do, But Isaiah loves it. He loves it. Sometimes, we cooking here at my house, frying chicken or playing in the garage. We got a basketball, go outside, and half the time Isaiah don't even know his dad coming. Oh, my dad coming? Oh, okay. He don't even know.
And I think for kids that's very important because as they get older, I think it's going to help them to have like healthy relationships with other people, and they don't have I think it just helps them to have a healthier relationship. When I see people like fighting over the kid or like it's obvious and you're doing it in front of the child, it's like that child is going to have some problems when when they grow up. So that so I'm glad
they show out in school.
So they never at the house. But I always try to be a positive person, and Raven does too. And like you're right, it will make it easier for the child though.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we like. The main part is Isaiah. That's just what we keep at. We just communicate about that and go from there.
All right. So Isaiah has a cell phone.
Yeah.
Hey.
So how has that been different? And I always tell people that I don't necessarily think young children should have cell phones, but in this day and age when you're co-parenting, like let's say y'all didn't get along, and it would be best to let me just call the child directly. Yeah. But how is it being, and how do you, Raven, how do you handle it? Because I know a lot of people are hesitant to give their children or get their children a cell phone. But
I think it's good for him to have a cell phone because, like I said, he is in middle school, and I'll need to know where he at or if he's staying after school. And not only that, he's able to call his dad and tell him, where he is, or if Demonte just want to call and check on him. He don't have to call my phone every time. Right. If he's not here, he can communicate with Isaiah. But, if his grades slip up, I tell Isaiah, turn that phone off. I'm gonna call your daddy. I'm gonna tell him, look, your phone off. You're gonna have to call my phone. So
Gotcha. And so you're making another way as opposed to like sometimes I see where the other parent will take the phone for punishment. And then it's like the other parent's like, I've been trying to call my child. I can't get in contact with him. Oh, he on punishment until May 1st. It's like, so I don't get a chance to talk to him.
Right.
So yeah. All right. What else y'all got for us?
I don't know.
Well, let me just say this. Because y'all talked about Raven being delivered. Because Justin, when you at the skating rink with
she was still delivered. She just had a little bit of issue.
she been delivered. Because I remember your mama was at the skating rink with us, and some lady was like, "Oh, those decorations are so beautiful. Where'd you get them from?" Your mama asked you, "Where'd you get them from?" And your response was like, "She can find out herself. She can go to the store." I'm like,
hey, I probably was laughing at that. Oh man.
Jessica laughed at that so hard. That was so funny.
Ray said, I don't remember that. It may have sounded like me, but I don't remember that.
Wait, Raven,
Hey, Mama was there.
You remember that, Raven?
Nope.
You know.
I don't remember that.
Hey, just like the passes being delivered, you know, they be just
The Lord didn't erase her memory of it.
Threw it into the sea of forgiveness. Yes, Lord.
Because what was funny about it, like your mama asked you in front of the lady, she was like, "Raven, where'd you get that?" And you were like, "She can find out herself and go to the store." The lady was just looking like,
hey, y'all funny, man.
I don't know. I be saying a whole bunch of crazy things.
okay.
You want to keep it real, so
So we're gonna wrap it up. I want to thank y'all for coming on and just being positive role models for showing people what co-parenting is. And certainly, you know, we're not living in utopia. We, you know, people understand that sometimes there's gonna be times where y'all are not getting along or somebody's mad at the other person, but certainly just seeing this and seeing the consistency of y'all co-parenting works very well. Now where is Isaiah?
Upstairs playing Fortnite.
he upstairs.
Oh, Fortnite. Okay. All right. So
That's really a question that needs to be.
Want to get him?
no, if he's up,
We already do that.
okay, yeah, get him right quick.
I'm gonna call him, see if he answers.
No, don't get him because Isaiah country like his dad. He'll come on his camera with no shirt on.
Yeah. But another thing I was gonna say is, you know, if y'all don't have a good relationship, I know most people do have a court order. I would just say just stick to the court order, and you know, if there's issues, you can always call what do you call that? A courtesy officer to come out and they can report it, and you know, just keep what they call them little things.
Like an incident report.
They give you like case numbers and stuff.
I've never had that called on me, by the way. Just give an example. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I've had past with my other kids' dads, you know, with them being in their feelings that I, you know, bought a house and, you know, just doing better for myself. But
I feel like Drake right now.
You so
no,
I ain't got time for him. But
yeah.
I know me and him really don't go by the order, but then on the other side, I still do have to go by the order, you know, with my other kids' dad. But other than that, we just stick to the books and just keep it moving. Just communicate with their schooling and how they doing, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I agree. Like if you don't like, I always tell people you got a parenting plan there, you got an order there. If y'all get along, great. It's when y'all don't get along, you go right back to that paperwork and just follow the paperwork.
Right.
Know? So I agree with that. Jay?
Here go Isaiah.
Oh, Isaiah, what's going on?
Okay.
Hello. It looked like we just went a few years back. So Isaiah, what do you want to say to the people? And don't ask them for money for Fortnite.
Right. What you want to tell them about me and your dad, how we co-parent?
I love my dad. He's the best. That's him that said that.
He's a tranquilicus. Is that what they call it?
No, ventriloquist.
Well, I like how they're co-parenting because it's like they like pay a lot of attention to me and all that stuff. then they get along a lot.
Well, that's good. That's good.
He gets 2 Christmases.
You get 2 Christmases.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How is it being the oldest child? Because I'm the oldest child. That's my, TTJ is my little sister. And let me just tell you, I feel you, Isaiah. You gotta do everything for the kids. Then your mom be like, they gotta go with you wherever you're going. Let them play your game. Yeah, TTJ.
As many times as you left. No, sorry, we ain't gonna discuss that.
We need to bring up the skateboard incident. No.
No, so how is it being the oldest?
It's kind of crazy.
Like, how is it crazy?
It's like they all want to come in my room, and I want to be in my room alone. They all are coming in my room, especially my brother Josiah, because
But they look up to you.
But it's kind of annoying because they always be messing with me. Like the other day, they came in my room and they jumped on my bed and they hurt my arm and my back.
So pretty much, you feel the same way I felt about TTJ is what you say.
But they say absence makes the heart grow fonder. So when you get older, that absence, you love them more.
Look at the twins.
I can tell you though, I was playing Fortnite at my house. He was playing at his house, and his brother was in his room, and he made so he turned out the game. I was like, oh Jesus, guys, Isaiah crazy about that Fortnite. I said,
and what I probably came about was yelling and everything.
Take y'all chairs to sleep. Yeah, but like I said, feel good. Hey, I still remember to this day when I got approved for that apartment, and it was nothing but the air mattress in there when I started out. And Isaiah didn't know I was still in town because I was looking for the apartment, and you should have seen his face when he found out, that I moved to. He was excited.
Excited. That's good. That is good.
Lord. Drive 10, 16 hours.
Hey, get in trouble. We got the belt. Be right down the street. You know what I mean?
Right. But wait, before I wrap it up, Isaiah. Now, I always get parents that they don't like for the children to fly alone. Tell me, do you like flying?
Well, it's all right to fly because you get a lot of free drinks and stuff. Well,
he's talking about Coca-Cola, Sprite.
But do you sometimes meet little kids on the plane?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You meet little ladies, and he get off the airplane. They're like, he is just the sweetest thing. I'm like, who is this lady? I said,
he make friends with everybody. I'm like, oh man.
I know. Right.
Hey, one thing about Isaiah, I can ask him if you want to ride with me somewhere out of state. Dad, I can fly, you can drive. I'm like, just
he
like
really
that.
does say that.
I like to drive.
That's why I tell him to go to sleep. By the time you wake up, we might be halfway.
I know. Well, thank everybody for being on tonight. We got to do this again because we got to talk about other topics too. So I want to thank Raven. Thank you, Raven. I want to thank Isaiah. Thank you, Isaiah. I want to thank Demonte. Thank you, Demonte. And I want to thank my little sister, Jay. All right. All right, you guys. Have a good one. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.